Get the latest information right now at bbc.co.uk/Essex. Just remind you all, of course, whilst you're commuting this morning, you're getting younger. Might not be by much, but you're getting younger. Now, Greater Anglia, which runs trains through Essex, was the third most tweeted about company in the country. Believe it or not, a study by Commute London found it received more than 241,000 tweets from passengers in 2014. Around 41,000 of those were adult. Must be about delays. What am I saying, adult? First Great Western came out top in the list, but what does this mean for social media? Jon Morter is a social media expert from Essex and joins us on the line now. John, very good morning to you. So what does it mean?
Good morning, James. Well, it basically means that social media is very easily accessible to everybody now, and we'll have a moan if we want to very easily. We can whip out our phones while we're waiting delayed at Shenfield, wherever it is, and we can vent there, which we couldn't do before.
Do you think social media used in this way, is it a help or a hindrance?
Well, I think overall it's got to be a help, really, because for train companies it gives an idea of who's annoyed, I suppose, for want of a better word.
Do you think they take any notice of it or not?
I think they do. I follow Greater Anglia's Twitter account, and I use the trains, not every single morning, but I do use them now and again.
Is their Twitter account, because I follow all sorts of people on Twitter, some are great, some obviously have somebody there working full-time, 24 hours a day on social media, and some just ignore you.
Yeah, ignoring isn't the best idea, really. There's a lot of brands and companies that seem to do that seem to use it as a broadcast only. And you can't do that. You just can't do that these days. It's got to be a two-way conversation. And yeah, because, they need teams and teams of people to deal with it because, a lot of, for a start, Greater Anglia, a lot of people use Greater Anglia, so they need a lot of people to deal with it.
Well, their spokesman there said that they can constantly expand their Twitter service and they've got 50,000 followers. They say it's an excellent and responsive way in which they can engage with their customers. Do you think other people should think about that or not?
Well, once you get past all the management social media talk, which I hear every day, engage with customers is just one of the most tiresome words to use in social media, unfortunately. And whereas with followers, it really doesn't matter how many followers they've got. That's not a big noise. But no, I mean they usually seem to be pretty good. Greater Anglia, as I said, I follow them, and they do get back to you, but realistically, they can't really say much. If the train's delayed or there's a problem with the wires down at Rayleigh or something, then all they can really do is say sorry. And I think it's just a lot of sorries.
Yeah, I don't mind them saying sorry. What annoys me about companies is lack of communication. And when you've got Twitter or Facebook, and most people have the ability whilst they're travelling to look at that, and most people do. You only have to get on a train to see the amount of laptops, iPads and iPhones that are being used. They could keep easily in contact with all those people, and if there's a hold up on the train, nothing worse than being stuck on the line, you could be given fairly immediate information about why you were there, couldn't you?
Well, absolutely. That's the beauty of it. I mean,
but they don't do that.
Well, I think it comes down to resources as well. I mean, especially Twitter. Twitter is just huge now for information. For example, I get all my travel information. I do follow Greater Anglia, but there's one called Essex Travel News, all one word, which is fantastic for the roads and for travel. And they are pretty quick at returning to people when there's a question. So, and I think, and I would look at them more because of that, because I know they're pretty quick. I naturally just look for their tweets more than anyone else's. But you're right, I think they've got to make more resources, companies now, so that they can respond to people quickly, because that's how we communicate now,
Yeah, well, listen, you're talking to somebody who's on Twitter a lot of the time, I think... Well, thank you very much. I'll follow you too. I think that people actually, particularly in business, need to realise it's something that isn't going to go away, and you have to actually become more used to it.
It's there whether you like it or not. So, and if you are a company and you have people that spend money with you, I just think you've got to be on there. There's no ifs or buts. It's part of life now. And so if you are a company, it's just a done thing. You can't afford not to be on there, because people are going to talk about you on there anyway. People will tweet about you regardless. So you've got to do yourselves a favour and get on there and talk back,
All right.
Gain more followers.
I'll talk to you on Twitter later. John, thank you very much indeed. Let's talk to Alina Jenkins now about the weather. I bet you've been tweeting about it as well.
I have. Only. I tend to. Although your tweet's the best one with the video of you trying to get past an EastEnders.
Hey, do you think that was good? Wasn't it?
I thought it was excellent, actually. No, genuinely, I did. I used to be an actress. I think